skiff will be ready when you are.
What happened here?
Come on. We need to find the others.
Staying where we are for now, I reckon. Let's get you to a visit nearby.
Sid? I trust you don't mind. And it appears he was
they're saying the Imperials ascended like a storm. Martha tried to step in and calm.
Any idea where?
Judging
To the app.
A bust. Jill and I will go after.
We will. But, before one of the locals heard something. I don't know how big this is.
You do the same.
Cole is right. That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
But a culling. Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
Oi, look sharp! If those horses touch.
Look. Up ahead. Martha.
Don't worry about me.
Tell us
What happened?
the black
The bastards caught wind. The poor soul.
Then, Martha.
I think so.
Black shields. Is this some sort of twisted joke? There has only ever been one order of shields in Rosaria, and they fought to defend all her citizens.
seems a step too far, even for the Empire. Are we too late?
There might still be someone inside.
No.
Damn it.
I thought...
Mad. They drove the bearers to...
Wait. Colluding with the enemy...
And for their crimes shall they be punished. to dwell in darkness that we may...
How dare you speak the...
Clive.
This won't... Over here! Is that...
I think... I didn't see the abbot.
Found her.
The abbot.
The bearers died protecting him. Calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive.
We're friends of Martha. They are.
The Black Rose.
Sid! In here!
Clive. He's gone.
We've laid the abbot to rest. The bearers.
No, they did. They knew the fate that...
Martha said they rose from the...
I've gathered the bearer's remains.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. If the abbot was still with us.
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will...
Spotted us, Torgal? What am I saying? Of course it has. It's a floating eyeball. All yours, Torgal! see that coming. That must be the bridge. So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden.
And now they are.
I hope so.
A pyre was. It's more than they deserve. Cole is worried about.
All right.
No one's.
I'm sorry.
Does it mean I won't? Cole said you cast, but it should have been me.
How?
But I did. The rumors started. I assumed it was all nothing but a ghost story.
And in ordinary times you would have... Which begs the question. My mother obviously has a hand in...
And picking what goes on in that... If those Imperial... Oh, but he asked me to tell you that...
Then we must just...
We can stay.
No need. I'll be... What in the world is... going on?
Try not to move. You'll only make it worse.
Oi! You... Of course you know.
Chocobo.
You heard me? And not just White-Hard.
Chocobo.
It's true. Go on, then. There's a...
Where can I...
I saw him cut it. You saved White-Hard and her flock. And don't worry.
I'm sure I...
And good luck.
White-Hart. That's quite a name for a chocobo. A white feather. I thought Umbra... Speaking of... Looks like they went that way. These chocobos aren't going down without a fight.
We got you cornered, Feathers. You didn't think you seen the last. You've been bad for...
Not around.
Oh.
Because she's something of a hero in the... You heard it. All right, then. You're safe now. White Hart, I presume. Do you know her, boy? That scar. It couldn't... Ambrosia. It is you. You survived. And you found yourself...
Oi! I thought I could... Oh, and
Thankfully.
Well, I'll be... No, I reckon our feathered friend must... Bird like her would have cut...
Well...
Oh, no, sorry,
What is it, girl?
She wants her mat. Told you.
Is that it?
Well, bugger me if this is... Oh! Doesn't she?
She does indeed.
Ah, oh, I'll be sad to see. Don't you worry. You hear that, White Hart? That's it. When the...
Must have been my...
Oh, must have been, eh? Anyhow.
You take care of your... I'll call you when I... Faster! Be safe. Now, where's Gav?
I hear there's trouble in Rosaria.
Ah, Clive! Oh, I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
While the two nations beat their shields, the rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the Mother Crystals. Four Mother Crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath, near Ironhome. Drake's Fang, in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine, in Waloed. And Drake's Tail, here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rossfield.
Lord Byron Rossfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rossfield. And you're a Rossfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune. Along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
What are we waiting for, indeed?
Aye. There's trouble in this area.
That room's as ragged as ghosts.
So Mather's all right.
Yep. Others. Ah, yes.
I'll stick with Nectar if it's all... The hunt board? It's well, just because they can't... Right. The people of Valisthea, the last thing they need is... And perhaps I can...
Clive!
The patrons, what does that mean?
Oh no, I still catalogue Come to claim your just desserts? All yours. You earned this. Come again. I may have more for you.
Clive! Quick look. Always something in there.
And how may I assist you today?
Allow me to educate you.
I have the details here.
Study it well, Clive.
Thus ends today's lesson.
Think it's all right to touch him?
Clive? What do you want? That it? Fine.
Won't be long now, Martel. See,
Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, it's just...
It's good to know.
Martel's pride. I took it on, and not only is...
Impressive.
I thought this... You couldn't take...
It'll be nice.
Oh, she always had a... Here you go. You hear that, Martel?
Did you come through the forge today? It smells like a still. Explain that room's as ragged as...
You two look like you could use something.
Martel.
Weren't she the girl?
Of course she...
I am brave as a babe.
Please, Hop. She'd have been...
A gift from the...
Blimey, these old Sid was the only he didn't have them right from the...
That sounds like...
Plain old kid. Hang on. I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Reckon she'd be happy knowing her. Clive, tell the
Not so much as a thank you. Well, you can leave the basket with me.
That was the last of the apples. I should head to the backyard and pass along everyone's regards. Curse breakers. They were clearly...
They remember, I suppose she was very... She put everyone she...
And through...
Oh,
by the way...
Of course. They like your fruit, Mark.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Come on.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber. Come on.
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! I think we're loyalists.
Jill, look.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all for the transgressions of but a handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
What business?
Then they must be.
You fancy dancing a gallows jig like the miller's son?
All right, I heard you.
I ain't got much, but what's mine is yours, for a price. I'd pay more if I could. I reckon that's fair. I'd pay more if I could. I reckon that's fair. I'll find it a good home. I reckon that's fair. Keep to the roads now.
Excuse me, but...
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There's been... The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants...
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? You'd have to be dull as a sack of stones to think you could take on the Empire. What with their 100-full legion?
100? I heard it were 1,000.
We're going hunting for outlaws. How'd you like that, boy? You seen?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. At least I think they...
Was this the first?
What do you think? If only we were.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know. But we need to find out. Greetings, friend.
I know.
We couldn't help.
Don't you go... I speak for the people of this village. You are to leave at...
May I at least...
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but the Empire is a harsh man. Some might call it submission. This village will not.
Then we shall be on up. These people live with a nut. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them...
Obedience, but...
Are you all right?
We still don't know who the...
Well, but other than Martha, who else in Rosaria would have... A new ally would certainly be... Perhaps the next village will yield more...
Pa.
Fly, Ambrosia.
This pass will take us through the mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
Ever since the apothecary, we've seen more and more of these echoes.
What do you think is waking them? The Mother Crystal's collapse?
I have an idea. You're not going to like it. my mother's men.
Blood, Clive.
And still wet.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. And still, you would bear your steel. Why then, we owe you our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these...
Say that. I'll show you a true shield, Rosaria. Tell me what I want in the end. Who are you looking for?
Your friends have been... They await you in...
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
Find something, boy. Death.
Found her.
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone...
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But this...
Oh, Clive.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
We can't leave them here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
We're approaching Buick Bridge. Though I doubt the Empire would let us cross over to Rosalith.
I did, Mummy! I could hear him shouting from down the road.
They tell us there's a curfew, but then refuse us passage back to our homes.
They're all Rosarian.
But this is their home. The Lazarus. What happened to this place?
My mother happened. The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. Let's hope my uncle fared better. That's the main gate. And it looks like we're not the only ones hoping to get in.
Let us pass!
My children are starving!
Have mercy!
Viceroy's dogs they are! You can't ignore us forever!
Let us in, or we'll die on your doorstep!
Better out there than in here.
No, get enough for everything!
Fuck off.
Hang the chinless bastards! Those crystals belong to us all!
I said, where were you, filth? Back to your sties. Cut you down where you stand.
Destroy it!
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in. I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. My uncle once told me that the nobles had... the Lazarus. We'll find our way into the city then.
If you're sure, do you think it's safe?
As long as it is abandoned.
The good news is we haven't seen a single black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for. This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
Not abandoned then.
Oi! Visitors!
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out.
finished.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
The blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died. Huh? Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Founder, it really is you.
It is. So wait.
We can speak inside.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye. The foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord, but in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son?
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge. Then so do we. Make ready. This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
You're telling me that's the Son.
What is it you require? As you wish, my lord. I will be here should you need aught else.
Tell us then, Sir Wade.
Nothing fancy. Sensing an opportunity, this will allow us while the Black Shields have an advantage.
How small exact?
Small enough. Now that I have.
But until we arrive, that was.
Sir Wade.
Very good.
As you command.
Thank you, Sir Wade.
There is but one putting an end.
And so we...
We'll keep them from the... May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village. We tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since. There they are. On your command, my lord.
What is it now? I told you!
We bear a message for the Viceroy.
Ha! You presume that a pair could guard or die?
For us area!
For us area!
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
Another wyvern to fight their battles for them.
This one!
More dragons!
Worse. The Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't say I'm flattered.
This one!
A noble stand, albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point. That this land is in dire need of cleansing.
So wait! Founder, there's no one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
You mean finish him?
Good. We needed that.
I don't see any more.
It did. We sent every last... Perhaps this will be enough.
Perhaps she'll move swiftly to...
And then... I often wonder if her fields... We battled to preserve, yet be that as it... For as long as the... And her loyal...
So wait.
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will...
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want... If only Sir Tyler could have been here.
Thank you, Sir Wayne. If there is ever anything you...
I know.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue! You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint in the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford. So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster?
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us, then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
Your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days.
Something on your mind?
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that Lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
founder knows what awaits us in the Kingdom. But Vivian could probably make an educated guess.
Typical nobles, cowering behind their walls rather than joining the fight.
How did we never hear about these Guardians of the Flame?
Clive!
Is something wrong?
It's Blackthorn. And if I'm honest, normally it only takes something's getting him down. It's like he's lost his... I'm thinking he...
Fine.
I knew you...
But if he doesn't want it...
All right, now, wait a bit.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Your benefactors are a generous lot. All yours. Come again. I may have more for you.
Back again.
It is not your company, but your counsel that I seek on this occasion.
Ever the charmer. What will it be today, then?
The Iron Kingdom. I need to know what to expect.
You'll soon be setting sail for Drake's Breath, then, I take it. The mother crystal that rises from the boiling sea. There was a time when a true-blooded Rosarian had only to brave the waves to visit it. But then the Ironblood made their move. As you know, the Iron Kingdom rules over the islands to the west of Storm. Or rather, its church does. But this is not the pragmatic approach to state religion employed by the Holy Empire to manipulate the masses. No, the Iron Kingdom is the literal embodiment of the crystalline orthodoxy. And so, if one is to understand it, one must start there. As the name implies, the orthodoxy holds the Mother Crystals sacred, and they do not take kindly to heathens plundering the objects of their worship for the means to fill washtubs and light lamps with frivolous feats of magic. Indeed, the faithful consider ether a sinful thing, a poison no less. And to them, a dominant is an instrument of evil, albeit one they have proven only too happy to turn against their enemies. Some 80 years ago in Northern Storm, Drake's eye collapsed. Soon after, in pursuit of ether and with the blight at their backs, the Northern Territories descended upon the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. And when the Shields of the Flame marched north to meet them, the Iron Kingdom spied an opportunity. A few short days later, the Crusaders landed on the island of Mount Drastanus, home of Drake's Breath, and plucked it from the Duchy's grasp. Rosaria tried to reclaim it, of course, but to no avail. I doubt more than a handful of Duchy men have set foot on its shores in your lifetime. Nor are they like to again, under the Empire's stewardship, meaning the Iron Blood will keep their island, and with it, the foothold they need to march on mainland soil when next they spy an opportunity. The Mother Crystal is both the object of the Ironbloods' worship and their gateway to the continent, making Drostanus the holiest of holy grounds, from which the Orthodox Crusade shall one day sail.
My father had things unfolded different.
But instead, they sent their fleet against Rosaria. I'd say you'd be forgiven.
Then, not much else to do here. Let's see if Jill's ready.
Typical nobles.
I didn't take you.
Oh, this? I borrowed it from old... Oh, where's your sense of adventure, Sid? Honestly, from spit roasts to...
If it's my...
Well, I'm no hunter, Sid, but you're made of sterner stuff.
Something to...
Fantastic!
So...
the only... A beast.
Does the book say?
Well, only that the...
Roses. One of the butch...
That monster's taken quite a liking to Lady Karen.
What's it got?
August was worried. I thought you might...
I told you not to...
Clive just wants to help, innit? Talk to him. Please, mate.
It's not the sort of thing you...
Why didn't you tell us all this?
Karen and I have an arrangement. Anyway, the other day, she shows... Mate, I should have brought the bastard thing there. There. You got what you came for.
All right. I always thought of old Blackthorn. Didn't think any...
Blackthorn's always taken. Something tells if he has doubt.
I couldn't have...
He said he should have bought, assuming you're happy to help.
Too bloody...
Glad to hear it. Karen, Blackthorn mentioned that...
And he ain't been himself since he...
Sorry, Sol didn't think Blackthorn cared for it, but it was nicely put together. Makes all his stuff too up.
You don't know where we might...
Like I said, you don't trust hunters.
I see.
He did tell me, apparently.
Here, there's a griff. Now, where the bleeding hell was excited.
Thank you, Karen.
At least you...
So, it sounds like going after that.
I'll leave the hunting while you get on with that.
Good idea.
How do? Take care out there, eh?
Thank you for sticking with us.
Those of us who are still here have to look after each other, don't we?
Oh.
Unwanted.
You're looking for Scorpion. Used to chuck them in the pot, and even if they were.
Do these...
I dare say they do.
Thank you.
No use calling Ambrosia now.
Stay sharp.
After what the Empire did to us,
This is no time to ride.
Don't you go causing any trouble now.
This is no time to ride. Scorpions. At least I know what I'm up against.
This one. All yours, Torvald. This one. It's over.
I better get this back to Yvonne before it goes bad. Or any worse.
Did you find
I did indeed.
Marvelous!
You wouldn't be wrong.
I present. Grab a spoon, sis.
I'm mad.
Well, it'll be... Odin's teeth. What? And yet, it takes a moment to recover.
You're.
I must share this gift. A single mouthful, and Molly will be.
I'm.
Typical nobles.